Hi guys, I'm Kyle Kimura. It's nice to see you guys again. Today we are going to do episode 3 of Orange Pen. So, why is episode 3 being recorded and not live? Well, because I was having some minor difficulties with my Wi Fi due to a typhoon coming into the Philippines. Also, not just my Wi Fi, but also my electricity. That's why I decided to record my progress instead, as an apologies for not being able to do it live. So today we are going to be focusing on finishing our rendering on her clothes, and also to fix some minor details on her face and on her clothes. Like for example, I wanted to fix the eyebrows. Instead of having it cut around here, I wanted to make it longer a little bit. And also for her eyes, I wanted to change the eye shape. Instead of having it curve around this area, I wanted it to curve maybe around here. So I'm thinking of making her eyes more smaller and a little bit longer, elongated, and then have it more tired looking rather than bright. Although the eyes that we have right now is already beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. I still like the way our eyes look. So I'm not gonna delete our old eye drawing, but I'm going to add a new one and see if it's better than the first one. So we're going to compare both and see which one looks perfect on her. So, with that being said, I will be fast forwarding some parts of the recording, because I don't want you guys to get tired of watching me color and edit some stuff. But I will be surely to give you some points, and I'll make sure you guys don't get confused along the way. So, without further ado, let's continue Kyle Kimura 2.0! Also, excuse my PNG. I don't know why she's there. I forgot to remove her. So just watch me bob my head or watch my head bounce in different time as you watch the whole recording. But what I'm doing right now is I am trying to figure out where to put my eyelashes. Like the first eye we have, I have eyelashes there. So I thought maybe I can put eyelashes on this one as well, but I wasn't so sure on how to do it. So it took me quite a while to figure out how. That's why you're going to see me go back and forth on different sizes of the shapes and curves of the eyelash. For this part, I decided to forego doing my eyelashes and decided to just finish some details on my eyes, like for example, the eye lines, the shadows, my aegusal. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but my aegusal, and then also where I want my eye bags to be. I don't know why, but I decided to put some lower eyelashes on my eyes because I feel like it would look good this time. But I was able to nail it, so now my second dilemma is how to put the upper eyelashes, which is the most hardest thing for me during that time. Like I am able to form it, but it just doesn't really up to my standards. But with trial and error, I was able to see a form that I think suits me really well. But it took me a while to have that kind of form. But I decided to just go with this one instead. Now I am trying to clean the first eye that we made. I put them in one folder, and then I also copied the eye whites, the irises, the highlights, the eyeball, everything inside the eyelashes, just so that we can have an easier life. We don't have to do that again. But since everything is symmetrical, and we're going to use this new parts that we copied for the new eyes, I have to erase the left part of it. So that was what I did, so that when I duplicate this whole current new eye that we have, I won't have anything on the other side of the eye. So I was also currently having problems with the pixels, but I wasn't sure on how to fix that. So I just went along with it and decided to continue with duplicating the right eye to the left eye. I also did some changes on the mouth because when I zoomed out, I saw that there's a open pixel on our lip part. Our inner parts of the mouth can be seen, but when I changed the size of our inner mouth, I noticed that it became pixelated. So I decided to just use the lips, the skin on the lips. Remember from our live, I put the skin on the lips so that we can cover the inner mouths peacefully. So instead of using your inner mouth, you use the skin on the lips for covering whatever pixels that is open on your mouth part. So if ever you have the same problem as I did, use the skin and not your inner mouth, okay? Because you don't want that pixelated. Now I am rigging the eye part. I wanted my eye bags to look natural as it is. So eye bags are usually violet, right? So that's what I did. I put violet on my eye bags, and then I added some reds on my eyes because that's how I saw my inspiration do it. So I decided to incorporate the same style that they did on my art style, and I kind of liked it, so I went with that as well. And then I also did the shadows on my eye lines so that I can make my eyes more deeper and tired looking. And then I went ahead and duplicated the layer from the left part to the right part. And when you duplicate the layer and mirror it, you tend to see that the highlight is also mirrored. So when that happens, all you need to do is do not mirror it, just move it from one side to another. And then I noticed that the blush on my cheeks is too red, so I decided to change the opacity of the blush, and then also change the opacity of my face shadow because I think it was too much. And not just that, I also changed the opacity of my freckles because I want them to seep into the skin and make it look as natural as it can be. I also noticed that the lines on my ears are kind of weird, so I fixed that, made it thinner. Also the other strokes and some parts of it, I also made it thinner. And then I also fixed the shadows of the ears. I wanted to make it more natural, just like what I did on the blush and the shadows on my face. This part right here is completely unnecessary. You don't have to copy this one, but I just want the whites in my eyes to be clean. That's why I did this. But again, you don't have to copy this because this is going to be covered by your eyelashes anyway. Now it's time to fix the eyebrows. What I did for my eyebrows is I decided to redraw the lines, have it colored in, but still I wanted that type of like blurry effect. So that's what I'm going to do with the eyebrows. I just need to fix the shape of it. I just wanted it longer and more pronounced than the first one. So, and then I want the blur part to be more natural looking. So instead of just having it blurred, I decided to put some hair on it to make the shape of the eyebrows more dynamic than the first eyebrow that we made. Just an additional details, I decided to put highlight on my nose, but I wasn't sure where to put the highlight, so I went back and forth with it, but then I ended up just putting the highlight on the tip of the nose instead. Then I fixed some shadows here and there. You don't have to do this one, but again, art is a trial and error process, so don't hesitate and don't be scared to play around it, okay? Now I'm putting highlights on the lips because for me, I feel like it's the only right thing to do. So it's just another additional details that I wanted to put on my character, and I think it kind of looked good on her. So, lip gloss are in nowadays, right? So I decided to put lip gloss on her. Now it's time to do her tattoo. Yippee! Actually, I don't know what color I should put on her, but I feel like using a bright rainbow color would look good on her because I think it fits her personality really well. She looks very mysterious and edgy, but she's actually very, very bubbly and friendly and very chaotic once you get to know her. So I thought the colorful rainbow aesthetics would look cute on her. Some minor details that I did while everything is fast forwarded is that I fixed the lace a little. I made it lower, and then I also fixed the shadows on the chest part, and then the highlights as well, because I want the skin to be more supple supple looking. So I changed the opacity of the shadow, the blush, and also the highlights. As for the earrings, I went and put some shadows on it, on the edge specifically, where I think the shadows will pop out. And then I also fixed the highlights. It was kind of hard because I wasn't used to coloring accessories, but I tried to look for inspirations online. So I was able to do it. But then again, I know there's a lot of things that I could work on to make it look better, more realistic. But for now, I am happy with the result. But in the future, I might still change it. I might edit it. Who knows? I'm not sure yet. But for now, again, I'm okay with this one. So I'm going with this one. For her tank top, I wasn't really sure what color I should use, so I used white first and then I filled it in. I started with the thinnest line first and then on to the bigger part of the tank top. You can use your bucket tool, but as for me, I went on and just used my pen because I feel more comfortable using it. Because sometimes when I use the bucket tool, there are pixels that aren't being colored, especially the ones closest to the line. And then I have to fill it in, which is again a double process. So I try to avoid doing that. That's why I just use the pen instead. A tip that I can give to you guys is you can change the color of your base so that you can see which part you haven't colored, or you can check which part you needed to erase, just like what I saw and what I did. So don't hesitate to use that tip from time to time. I wanted to put texture into my tank top because I think plain white is kind of boring. I was supposed to put cherries on it, but then I have to draw it and I wasn't feeling it at that time, so I went ahead and used the textures that are available in Fire Alpaca. But then I feel like it still wasn't enough. The grid was perfect, but I feel like I can do more and better than that. So I went to check the free brushes that you can download from their market store to see if there are some brushes that have good textures that I can use for the tank top. So I did see some good brushes. I did test them all out, but I just feel like the roses fits more perfectly than the rest that I have tried. So I simply used the roses instead. I always change the color of my line art because for me, I think that it makes everything blended together perfectly, and it doesn't look very overpowering and embossed rather than the color of the base that you chose. It's just something that I always do on my art. I would never forget to change the color of my line art. I try to match it well with the base because I feel like it's perfect that way. But then again, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Around it. Do which one you're comfortable with. This is just what I'm comfortable on doing, so I always do it. And then I also added some shadows into the tank top because our tank top is inside the jacket, so it is only right to put shadows on it. And then I was trying to decide on which color the jacket should be, trying to match it with the color on the roses, but I wasn't able to check. I just wasn't so sure about it, so I just chose this color. But I still feel that it wasn't good enough. So, but I just went along with it because I needed to color it anyway, and then I can just change the color along the way whenever I feel like it. So I use this color. I don't know what color is this. It kind of looks like lavender, right? like lilac, but not really lilac because it's more bluish than purple. Again, I'm not good with colors, so I just eyeball everything. Honestly, it's one thing that you should learn when you start doing art, but I don't I didn't learn it. So now I'm having a hard time. But don't be like me, okay? Try to learn colors as much as you can because it makes a huge difference on your art. But yeah, it's too late. It's too late for me. I mean, not really, but yeah, I'm still struggling with it. So don't be like me, okay? Now I'm coloring the whole jacket. Again, you can use the bucket tool to color it, but for me, I prefer using the pen because I wanted to make sure that all sides, especially the ones closest to the lines, are colored. So that's what I do. And then don't forget the tip that I gave you guys. Change the color to any bright color you have just so that you can check which part you have missed because I tend to do that a lot, so I always do this just to check and make sure that everything is well colored. Some details that we forgot to do last live is the back part of the jacket because it is slipping off from our shoulders, so it's only right to put some details like that on our drawing. And then once you're done with checking, you can now revert back to the original color that you chose. And then also change the color of our line art because again, it's something that I personally do a lot. So you don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's just something that I do a lot. And then now we're proceeding to the shadows. I use airbrush to do my shadows because it's the easiest way to render shadows or colors into your clothes or drawing. And then I also like the illusion of using the eraser to cut some corners where I think the cuts and folds of the clothes comes, like where the creases forms, it gives you that harsh lines, so you can like, it gives the illusion that the clothes cuts from here. So I kind of like that detail that it gives, so I always do it. It's a very beginner way to put shadows into the clothes. So if you're not good at rendering yet, maybe you can try this style, and then once you get better at it, you can start trying harder rendering skills. But for now, I'm going to stick with this one. So just some airbrush and some erasers. Once you're done with your shadow, you can then put highlight on your clothes. Remember where your light is. In our case, the light is at the front and on the left side of the character because that's where we're going to put her. It depends on where you put her on your stream, but in my case, I would always put her where my PNG is. So I think that's just a good additional detail into our character. Since I forgot to color our hands while we were coloring the rest of the skin, I decided to do it now before I color the pants, just so that we can finish the whole upper torso area. I also wasn't really sure on how to make our nail pop. I just thought that putting nail polish on her nails would look cute. So I decided to choose different colors that are ranging in orange because kahel means orange in Tagalog, and I wanted to incorporate orange into our character, but I'm still not sure on how to do it. So for now, I am sticking into this color. I kind of like it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. So let me know what you think about this one, and maybe we can change it in the future. Since I don't like the buttons that we have on our jacket right now, I checked the marketplace again to see if there's a brush that I can use, but it's too thin, so I decided to just use it as a guide and then redraw everything. After that, I colored it in, I filled it in with colors. Again, the first tip that I gave you guys, amongst the others, is to always use saturated colors just to see if you are coloring everything perfectly, every pixels perfectly. You can always change it back to the original colors you wanted it to be. So don't hesitate to use it, guys. It's really, really useful. And then after that, I decided to put some shadows and highlights on it. I also changed the line art because I love it that way. And then I also changed the color of what do you call this one? The thread that you use to sew the buttons in. I feel like white would look good as a thread color. But then again, it's kind of hard to render white. I don't know why. It's hard for me. But then, but you know, it's a me problem because I'm not good at colors. But yeah. I forgot to render the skin here on our waist area. So, oh my god, I must tell you guys this. This is another hardest thing that have ever happened to me. I don't know how to render this stomach area because I've never drawn a character that has exposed stomach area. So it was really, really hard for me. I was trying so hard to look for inspirations online, but their rendering skills is much more different than I am. They have so much details that I know I cannot pull off yet. So it was really hard for me to look for the easiest way for a beginner to render the stomach area. So I just went along with it and eyeballed it. Decided to put, like shadows from where the crop top ends, from where the jacket is. And then I tried to give her a little bit of abs, but it doesn't look good, so I erased that. And then I tried to put some flush on her skin because I want my skin to look supple. So I think some flush or like blush would do. Also, I'm using airbrush again and then some erasers. I tried to deliver some harsh lines into the V line because I think it's sexy. Some details that I wanted to put on her since I couldn't pull off the abs. And then I also added some highlights where I think the light is going to bounce off. I'm not sure if I did the rendering for the stomach area properly, so do let me know, guys. I'm open for criticism. Do let me know. I need help anyway. So now we're proceeding to coloring the pants. Again, you can use your bucket tool if you want to, because it does makes your life easier. But for me, I am going to use my pen again. I'm just gonna color everything and then I'll get back to you guys. once you're done coloring everything on the pants, your base, it's time to put some shadows on it. I just chose a darker color from the base color, and then again I used the same method. I use airbrush and eraser. I tried to deliver some soft and hard lines with it, just to, emphasize on the folds and the crease of the pants. So yeah, and then I decided to also put or use a much more darker color, just so that I can give a more deep impressions onto the shadows. Don't forget to add some details like on your lines where you feel like there should be shadows on it. You can check your own pants if you want to, or check online about folds and shadows if you're not sure where to put your shadows in. But as from my rendering, I decided to put them on where there are details, because some creases from like the stitches kind of gives shadows, illusions of shadows sometimes. So I tried to incorporate that into my drawing, like the belt hoops, they have shadows as well. So yeah, and also fix some highlights here and there, because your folds wouldn't be perfect without some parts where there are highlights. Play around the highlights, guys. Again, I'm pretty sure what I did isn't perfect, but for me it does look good that way. So I kind of like it. So now I'm looking for a brush that would look good on the star details that we have on our pants. What I was expecting for it to look like was, like an additional cloth that was sewn into your pants. When you have like holes on your pants and then you put a different cloth on top of it and then you sew it, patching the holes on your clothes. That was what I was hoping to search. I was hoping to make it look like that, but I wasn't able to see a brush that would look good, texture wise and all. So I didn't really know what to do. So I decided to just use a regular pen, and then I've seen some brush that has some little bit of texture that I thought would look cute. So I tried it and the combination kind of looked perfect. So that's what I tried to do here. So do let me know if you feel like there's a different way to do this one, to achieve the patch-like looking that I was trying to deliver. So I'm still not sure, but for now I kind of like the way how it looked and ended. So it ended up to. So yeah, it's perfect for me right now. But if there are some, professionals who are willing to give me some guidelines, I'm looking forward to it. I'm open for criticism. Please help me. Make me be better at art, please. Again, don't forget to do your line art. Now that I'm editing this, I noticed that I didn't do the line art on my hand. So after editing this, I'm going back to do that. But good thing I didn't forget it on the pants. So now we're proceeding on our shoes. I wanted the shoes again to be orange because I feel like, it's kind of cute that way. It gives her a little bit of personality as well. So, and also because of Kahal. So I'm still not sure of what color I should use for the shoes. So I'm sticking to this color for now. I did change it a lot of times. So I'm still not sure of it. But then again, you can always change it. If you feel like it's not good enough for you, you can always change and adjust the colors onto your liking. So play around, guys. Play around. It's okay. I did that a lot too on this character. So play around. And don't forget to put your highlights and shadows because it makes the rendering better. It also kind of gives you like an illusion that you're good at it even when you're not. So don't forget to do that, and also don't forget to change your line arts as well. And then all of a sudden I decided to play around with my lips, make it more gradient. I tried doing what do you call this famous lip colors, lip style that is currently in right now with the Korean with K-pop and Douyin makeup. So I tried doing that into her, but to her, not into her, to her lips, but it wasn't perfect. So I just decided to put some darker areas just so that it would give an illusion that her lips is more plump than usual. Finally, it's time to render the hair. Oh boy, I hate rendering hairs because the amount of detail that you need to put on it. For a beginner like me, it's just so hard. But anyway, remember the mock-up that I showed you guys on our live? I wanted to have a dark blue hair like Yunjin from Le Seraphim on her Crazy Envy. I said I wanted that hair because it looks so good on her. So, she's my inspiration. So I used that as our base color for the hair. And then I also wanted to put some highlights on it, So I used orange on the highlights. I also added some baby hairs because I feel like it's cute, I mean, I'm not good at rendering the hair, so at least some baby hairs can save it, make it look cuter. And then here we are with the orange highlight that, oh God, still wasn't sure if that's the right orange to pick. The amount of times that I have changed this orange, my God. Especially with my golden eyes, guys. It cancels out the orange that I put on my hair. It's really hard to choose what orange would look good on my hair. Also, I did some additional details on the back of my hair because as I feel like it's too thin. I feel like it's too short as well. So I added additional details on the back of my hair to make it look thicker and longer in a way. So yeah, and I kind of like how it turned out to be because I also used this lines as reference for where I should put the highlights in, and kind of look really good. I'm not gonna lie, I really love how this ended up. The problem is the color of the orange. I'm still not sure about this one. And then I also raised my bangs a little because I kind of want to give, the forehead illusion. No, not forehead illusion. A little bit more of the forehead because I feel like it's so close to the eyebrows. So I raised it up a little. And then I tried so hard to fix what orange I should do for my hair. So Yeah, it's really hard. So please help me with the colors, guys. I really, really need your opinion. I feel like my character is so over the top because the amount of like different tones into this character is crazy. I feel like I could use some help, guys. Really, really help me with the colors. Tell me which one I should change. Like tones, because I'm not really good at it. I would really, really appreciate some help. Also, I did something to the eyes. I feel like the eyes were a little bit on like the wide area. No, not wide area. I feel like there's too wide apart, so I pulled them closer to the center. Because it's better this way, that way, and then I also try to like check if it's in the center. But for now, yeah. And then I also added the moles that I forgot to add on her. I don't know why. But yeah, guys, this is it. We're done with the rendering. Oh my god. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we are going to pull this out? But oh my god, she did come out perfect and beautiful. I know the colors are still over the top. I am, I'm well aware of it. So that's why I am looking forward to any comments and suggestions from you guys. Not just the color, but also with, the rendering of the clothes, of the skin. Is there like better ways to do it? Or maybe my line art or the proportion of myself, Like tell me. Please do tell me any criticisms. I will welcome it because I do need it. I do need it a lot. But this is us, guys. Woo, we're done. We're done. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. She looks perfect. She's so beautiful. I love her. I love her so much. I can't wait to debut Kahel Kimura 2.0. Gosh. And the next episode of Orange Pen, we are going to check check details and then merge everything. Once everything is perfect and done, we are now off to rigging the character. We're almost there, guys. The debut for 2.0 is coming really, really soon, and I can't wait for that to happen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm getting emotional because she's just so pretty. But thank you for joining me today, guys. It's fun to be able to show you guys what I've learned. Although it's not perfect yet, I do know I'm still at beginner pace. But it's nice to share my knowledge with you guys, with my little tips and all. It's not that big, but I really like what we're doing right now. Our process is really slow, but that's okay. It's enough. I can't wait to share my knowledge to you guys about rigging. Again, I'm beginner phase on that as well. So do look forward to it, okay? So that is all, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today in my supposedly short recording, but ended up becoming kind of live-like VOD. I don't know why it happened that way, but I kind of do like it. So, live commentary and all. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you guys on the next upload or on the next live. Bye bye, everybody. Good night. Bye bye.